Erik Boland is beat writer, New York Yankees, New York Newsday, long time, and been with us many times here on Big Board Sports and with me over the many years. And Erik does a great job covering this Yankee team day in and day out. And he joins us for a few minutes off the top of hour number 2 of Big Board Sports on 104.5 The Team, ESPN Radio. Good morning, Erik.
Good morning, Roger. Chris, how are you guys today?
We're great, man. We're great. We'll get right to our debate. The debate is, now that Aaron Judge has 50 home runs, surpasses Mark McGwire, phenomenal story. We know he's the rookie MVP. Erik, will he win the MVP award?
I mean, he certainly is making, as they approach the clubhouse turn and go down the stretch. I mean, he's had a late burst with his September. There's no question about that. And what those who have MVP votes, and I happen to be one of them this year, and it's selected randomly. The Baseball Writers Association, they send out, last year I think I had Rookie of the Year. The year before that I had Manager of the Year. It just so happened this year I end up with the MVP vote. What all of us who have MVP votes have to weigh is obviously, Judge's 6-week slump coming right out of the All-Star break against his closest competitors for this race, and you start with Jose Altuve and Mike Trout. I know his team's not going to make the playoffs, but he's very much in the mix, and so is Jose Ramirez of the Indians. I know he's not getting a lot of attention right now, but I think he should. It's going to be very interesting to see how much and I have not made up my mind yet. I will take a day right toward the end of the season and go through all the numbers for all the candidates and come to a conclusion. But how much does that 6-week period that Judge had coming out of the All-Star break, where he hit below 200 and really looked lost at the plate, how much does that factor in final determinations? We'll have to see. But is he very much firmly in that discussion as a 1A, 1B, 1C candidate? Because I really think there's 3 strong candidates. He absolutely is.
And you know what, Erik? Who saw any of this coming out of spring training, really, with Aaron Judge?
Well, nobody did, and anyone who tells you otherwise is lying. And the evidence is the fact that, and I'm going to write about this this weekend for one of our playoff preview stories in Newsday, the fact that he wasn't named, and a lot of people, forget this, and rightly so, because of what he did coming out of the gate in April, May, June, into July. He wasn't named the starting right fielder until March 30th. Basically, the last day of spring training in Clearwater, Florida, Joe Girardi finally said yes. He emerged from a tight neck-and-neck battle with Aaron Hicks for the starting right fielder job. So, not even the Yankees expected this, because he would have been named right fielder a heck of a lot sooner than he was.
Erik, all right, I think foregone conclusion, right? The Yankees aren't going to win this division. I know mathematically they still have a shot, 4 games out, 6 to play. I get all that. But do you get any sense that over the next week here or so, Joe Girardi will play this thing out, anticipating a 1-game playoff on Tuesday, and then obviously hoping to win, and then having to turn around quickly and start an ALDS on Thursday? Like, will he manage his bullpen a little bit differently? Maybe how he pitches Luis Severino, hoping that he'll have him to start Tuesday night?
Yeah, I mean, Joe Girardi actually said that yesterday, that was pretty much what his plan is. And when he disclosed after the game the rotation order through Friday, it essentially is setting up so Severino will start Tuesday's game. And by the way, there was never any drama or theater in who was going to start that game. I get disappointed in sometimes, I'll just say, people in the sports media when one thing happens and there's a knee-jerk reaction. Oh, does this mean Severino's not going to start the wild card? He never was not going to start that game. The only way he wasn't going to start a wild card game was if for some reason things had broken where the Yankees could win the division this weekend, and then you would obviously, if Severino could pitch a game that would win the division, then you would go for that. But yeah, he was never not going to start that wild card game. So yeah, it's slotted so that he'll start he'll start Wednesday. And then he'll start on 5 days rest Tuesday, and then you'll have Sonny Gray and Severino in a game 3, and then probably Sabathia in a game 4, and then a Sonny Gray in a possible game 5 after that. So yes, they are. It is everything about this week now, Chris, is pretty much just setting things up for that 1-game wild card, and then the Yankees hope a division series after that.
Erik, David Ortiz now with Fox Sports, who will be, I guess, going to work some playoffs coming up here, but said recently, don't rule out a surprising run by the Bombers. Do you think this Yankee team is going to be dangerous in the postseason, and why?
I absolutely do. And I think, look, the way it works here and the way the bracket's set up, and some strange things would have to happen for it not to go this way. Yankees beat the Twins, which I think they'll be overwhelming favorites. To do that, I would be, I've been doing this a long time. Very few things shock me anymore. But if the Twins win that one-game wild card, I would be shocked at that. The Yankees would then move on to play the Indians. And the Indians have only won, 29 out of their last 31 games or whatever it is. The Yankees are the second hottest team in the AL, and they've won 16 out of 22. But that said, I think the Yankees are the worst possible division series matchup for the Indians. I think that, Corey Kluber is Corey Kluber. There's no question about that. And let me be up front, too. The Indians would be the prohibitive favorite. But would it absolutely stun me to see the Yankees make that a really good series and possibly pull the upset? It wouldn't, because they have all the components that would allow you as a team to pull an upset. They have an ace, a horse at the front of their rotation with Severino. You've got a really good guy in the second slot in Sonny Gray, who, even when he's not on, you look at his final line score and he gives you, 6 innings and allows 2 runs. So he's going to keep you in any game. And their bullpen, outside of Andrew Miller, of course, the Yankees bullpen is better, top to bottom, than what Cleveland's is. So, I give a slight nod to the Indians lineup 1 through 9. But if Judge is hitting the way he's hitting and regained the form from his first 3 months, which he has, that completely changes the complexion of what the Yankees lineup looks like. So I think the lineups are comparable. I think the Indians obviously have a better starting rotation. I think the Yankees have a better bullpen. I really think it's not a great matchup for Cleveland in the first round. Would I still pick the Indians? I would, because of what they've accomplished the last couple of months of the season. But we also know September performance doesn't always project into October success. So I would pick the Indians in that series, but I think it could be a much better series than a lot of people think.
Fair enough, Erik. Always a pleasure. I guess one little live local late breaking on the way out, and that is Aaron Hicks is off the 10-day DL, back on the team.
Yeah, the Yankees just sent out that release within the last hour.
Okay. Fair enough, Erik. Always a pleasure. We thank you for a few minutes, and we'll get back in touch as we get set for the playoffs here in MLB.
Roger, Chris, I look forward to it. Always enjoy talking to you guys.